Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We got a story today that I think you will enjoy, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. We're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Ian. So anyways, Ian had a friend, and we're going to call this friend Ben. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you. This has definitely happened to me, and I'm sure it's definitely happened to a lot of you guys. But have you ever had a friend, and you like that friend, you're close with them, you want the best for them, right? You want the best for this friend. But this friend decides that he's going to, enter an entanglement. He's going to start, seeing some girl who's terrible, right? Or it could be, gender roles reversed. I don't care, right? You have a friend who starts to see someone and you know that they're terrible, right? And you kind of try and explain it. Like, I mean, I can't just be a complete, but I can't be that guy and be like, yeah, this girl you really like, she's the worst. But you also, I don't know, it feels like a moral responsibility that you need to say something. I don't totally know. Anyways, Ian was in a very similar situation to this, right? His friend started dating this girl, wasn't dating this girl, but he was at this point in the story, he was actively flirting with this girl who we're just going to call the Emo Girl. So you already know that it's going to be quite an adventure, right? She was kind of like the goth emo girl, whatever, and that's totally fine. Like, that's literally totally fine. I don't care how you dress. Like, if you want to dress like that, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, that's cool. It's a vibe, I guess, whatever. However, I think you can read the title. This emo girl definitely goes a little bit too far. And so anyways, Ian is talking with his friend Ben, and Ben is talking to Ian about, like, oh, this girl, like, she's great, whatever. I'm just going to call her Emo Girl, and I'm going to refer to her as the Emo Girl. They're going to call her Stacy or something, whatever her actual name is. I just don't know what it is. But anyways, right, Ben was like, yeah, the Emo Girl and I have been, like, talking for a while. Things have been really good. She seems really cool. And Ben is just kind of, like, looking at him like, yeah, I don't know. Because, look, okay, there wasn't exactly a huge red flag, right? I mean, there was pretty clearly a red flag just later on, right, in the story, as you can probably tell by the title of this video. However, at this point, there was no, like, specific thing. Like, the emo girl hadn't done anything specifically. So it's not like Ian could say, oh, Ben, like, you shouldn't talk to her because she did X or Y. All he could really say is, like, I don't like her, and I don't know why, which is not really a great reason. So Ian really had to sit back and just watch his friend, Ben, slowly but surely become entangled with a girl who kind of sucked, and it was very clearly later on that she super sucked. But anyways, and unfortunately for Ben, not like that. Anyways, I just distracted myself. But anyways, so after a little bit of time, Ben eventually gets into an official relationship with this girl. No. I mean, this is high school. This isn't like middle school official relationship. I don't know if you guys got married in kindergarten. I had there was a lot of kids in my class who got quote unquote married in first grade. And the question was like, okay, we just got married. What do we do? And the whole point was that they wanted a better, tax bracket. But anyways, right. So yeah, they were officially in a relationship. They were officially a thing. And one of the worst things for Ian during this time period was that, Ben was like, well, since she is my girlfriend now, I think it's only right that she comes and sits with us. And Ian in his head was like, oh, no, dude, no. So anyways, right, Ian wants to sit with his best friend, Ben. And he's sitting at lunch, and sure enough, the emo girl comes over. And she is like, her head is like in her phone. She has like one earbud in. She's blasting like heavy metal, like, everything's awful. Society doesn't understand me. Yeah. It's kind of like music along those lines. She just, like, wasn't super paying attention. And, so Ben was like, all right, well, or Ian was like, you know what? Since my friend is dating her, I'm going to not be an ass and, like, actually try and talk to her. Like, I think that's probably a good idea. So Ben was like, or Ian was like, so, and the emo girl just does not make eye contact with him. And for all we know, she's not even paying attention. How's it going, emo girl? My name's Ben. And she pulls out her AirPod. She's like, or her headphone. She's like, what? And Ian's like, my name's Ian. I'm friends with Ben, your boyfriend. She's like, okay. Ian's like, okay, Ben, okay, he didn't say this, but he was basically just like, okay, Ben, bro, I tried. Look, I tried. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I tried to have a conversation with her. Just the fact that I'm sitting here with her should be good enough. Right. So yeah, this goes on for a little while, and this kind of continues to go on. Unfortunately, it just is what it is, right? And so there's no sign of them breaking up. Ian didn't want Ben to be sad or anything. He didn't want him to be like unhappy, but at the same time, he was kind of hoping that Ben would break up with her, that he would see the light of day, and maybe realize that I don't know. Maybe this just wasn't the relationship for him. But unfortunately, no, that's not the case. So this story really, really takes place, because this is kind of his background. This story really takes place one Friday night. There's this very big, there's just not a block party, but there's a party hosted by someone in their class. Their parents are out, and the kid basically invites everyone in the grade, because, this kid, the little backstory is why. Because normally, if you were to do this, you would just invite people you knew, because it's kind of a terrible idea to invite everybody, including people you don't know, to a party that you're not really supposed to be having. That's just a terrible idea. However, this kid wasn't, super popular, and he thought that this was a perfect opportunity for him to become that guy. I'm going to become that guy now. But, yeah, so sure enough, he invites literally everyone. So that's everyone from, Ben, Ian, the emo girl, to everyone else in the class. The party ends up being a complete disaster at the end, and he gets in a lot of trouble. But that's not the main focus of this story. So anyways, right, Ian is I don't know. He's nothing better to do on this Friday night. I mean, he could do his homework or whatever, but let's be real, guys. That's just not simply happening tonight. So Ian decides that he's going to go over. He sends a text to Ben being like, hey, man, are you going to go over? And Ben was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go over. Me and the emo girl are walking over now, because they all live in the same neighborhood-ish. They all lived walking distance. By walking distance, I mean give or take 20 or less minutes. So, Ian was kind of looking at the text message being like, oh, nice. I am super excited that you're bringing the emo girl again. Anyways, Ian obviously didn't say that. He's like, bet, see you there. Cool, whatever. Yeah, so, Ian was at this point actually debating if he wanted to go or not, because he wanted to go, and it was looking at, he's either going to sit in his room staring into the blank walls, questioning his life and everything around him, or he's going to go to the party where he is most unfortunately going to have to run into the emo girl at some point and have to deal with her, Yeah. Yeah, that's bad enough. It was a close call. It really was a close call between the two, but eventually Ian was like, yeah, screw it, I'm just going to go. So Ian gets his stuff, he goes over, and he walks. He goes to the front of the door, the person who invited him greets him, is like, hey, welcome, what's good? Ian looks inside, it is a total disaster. People are spilling stuff everywhere, stuff is knocked over. Ian immediately knows that this kid's kind of freaking out a little bit, because it definitely came out of hand. Guys, I mean, obviously, I don't endorse when you're older for you to, wait for your parents to leave and then throw a party, because you know what? I never did that. However, it's not like I don't know people who did. If I had to give a little piece of advice, because maybe you'll learn something on my channel for once, if you're going to do that, just don't invite random people. That is a terrible, terrible idea. It's definitely a recipe for disaster. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, yeah, so Ian gets in there, and this is kind of walking around. And eventually, he sees Ben. He's like, hey, what's good? And Ben's like, hey, man, how's it going? And at this point, Ian's like, oh, I thought you were going to be with your girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, I mean, we got here together, and then we kind of got separated, and I haven't found her since. But, she has other friends. I'm going to let her, hang out with them. And Ian had to hold back a little bit, because he kind of knew for a fact that, no, this emo girl did not have any other friends. Nope. It was literally just her boyfriend, and then that's the only other person she hung out with. There was no, clique of, society hates us kids at the school. So, yeah, it was literally just her. And so Ian was a little bit suspicious. He didn't think that she was cheating on him or anything. He didn't jump to that conclusion, right? However, he was like, okay, well, that's still a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little weird. But he didn't say anything. He didn't want to spook out Ben, because it's at that point it was a complete conspiracy theory. Why would he spook out? Why did he spook Ben? No point. So he's like, all right, bro, that's cool. So Ben and Ian actually spent some pretty good quality time for like 10 minutes or so, nothing crazy. But just like for the first time in a while, I mean, he's seen him a couple times without, the emo girlfriend there. However, this was the first time in a while, at least it's felt like, that it's just been Ben and Ian back together. The gang's all here, guys. Like, it's been a while since that's happened. So Ben was pretty happy, or Ian was pretty happy. I mean, I guess they were both pretty happy. But eventually, Ian's like, all right, well, I got to go to the bathroom. And the thing was, there was a bathroom, but the bathroom was on the second floor. And there wasn't a lot of people on the second floor. In fact, there was a sign saying, please don't go up here unless you got to go to the bathroom. Like, the kid who had the party or whatever printed that out saying, like, don't enter, but it says, like, only bathroom or something. So, anyways, Ian goes up there, and he is walking to the bathroom when he passes by, the bedroom. And he hears, like, noises. Not anything too weird. Not, okay. You guys are going to bring it to places that I did not. That's you guys being weird. That's not me. So stop it. Anyways, I mean, he hears, like, I don't know, kissing noises, which honestly sound gross. Like, I'm not trying to hear that, man. First of all, I'm not trying to see that. Let me just say, as a sophomore, I can now speak down on the freshmen. Sorry, it's just how it works here. Dude, stop with the PDA in the dining hall. Please. God, I don't want to see that. Is it that hard? You have a room. You both have rooms. Jeez, okay, you know what? I'm not going to let this tangent take me away from the story. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I had to put it out there on record. I do not approve of these freshmen in their frickin' PDA, dude. Get out of here. Anyways, Ian's walking up. He goes to the bathroom. He hears these, like, kissing noises. He's like, okay, like, that's kind of lame. Like, you're in, like, this kid's parents' bedroom. Like, can you just not do that somewhere else? Like, this kid's hosting the party. He very clearly said he doesn't want people up here. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want two random kids on his bed doing whatever unholy stuff that they're going to do, right? So, yeah, he's like, okay, whatever. Obviously, though, Ian does not want to, walk in on this. No one wants to walk in on that. It's just a lot of... it's not what he's trying to do today, right? Fair enough. So Ian goes to the bathroom, washes his hands, maybe. And then he gets up and he's walking out. And the thing is, right, the parents' bedroom is closer to the stairs than the bathroom is, so he had to walk past the bedroom to get to the bathroom. So as he's walking past the bedroom, or he's about to walk past the bedroom, the door flings open, and these two people who are in the process of, like, making out or whatever basically fall out, right? And they basically crash into him. And you know who he sees? Some random kid and Ben's girlfriend, the emo girl, right? So at this point, Ian is just looking at the emo girl. And the emo girl, instead of having this, like, kind of look of, like, this intense RBF, right? This kind of look of, like, everybody sucks. I understand the world in ways people don't. They don't understand just how bad it is, man. Like, all this kind of, like, lame stuff, right? She was looking at him with this complete look of terror, kind of like a deer in the headlights look. She just knew at this point that it was over. It was a little too late. And she's just looking at him. Ian's looking at the emo girl. The emo girl's looking at Ian. And Ian immediately blurts out, like, were you just making out with that dude? And the dude is like, looks over. He's like, yeah. Kind of like, I don't know, a little cocky, a little sarcastic, whatever. Ian looks at him. He's like, you know this girl had a boyfriend who's here? Or no, he says, do you know that this girl has a boyfriend? And the kid's like, nah, dude, like, I'm not trying to be a homewrecker. And then Ian goes on to say, and the boyfriend, did you know that he's here? And the kid just has this look of like, oh, shoot. So he's like, no, I didn't. I have to go, man. I'm sorry. I'm busy. So the kid literally runs out. I'm pretty sure, like, this kid was, like, afraid that, like, okay. Ben was not some, like, 300-pound football player, but, this kid's not taking any chances, right? He's not taking any chances. He doesn't want any trouble tonight. So this kid's immediately out of here. He runs out. And at this point, it's literally just Ian and the emo girl. And the emo girl's just dead silent. And Ian's like, dude, I'm going to tell Ben. He's downstairs. Like, do you have anything to say? And she looks at him, and she says, it's not my fault. And Ian looks at her, and he's like, what? Like, are you sure? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, that was you, man. And she's like, no, you don't understand. You won't understand. And Ian's like, well, I'm going to be telling him either way, so, I mean, understand or not, maybe you should just tell me, just in case I do. And she's like, you're not going to get it, but The dark spirits convinced me to do so. I was casting a spell last night, and they told me that, for me to complete the ritual, I needed to make out with some random guy that wasn't my boyfriend. Ian is just looking at her with this look of, I knew this girl was crazy. I knew it. I knew it. Ben should listen to me forever and ever if I say anything ever. Because I'm right. I was right. Yeah, so Ian is kind of looking at her with this look of like, are you serious, dude? Like, that you can't actually be serious. First of all, if anyone ever says this to you, first of all, I've heard some pretty funny excuses for cheating, but this one's definitely up there. If your excuse for cheating was the dark spirits convinced me to do so, then no, you cheated, man. I don't think you're supposed to be in a relationship. Also, a little bit of advice: if you're in a relationship and you guys go off to college and you go to 2 different colleges, I'm not going to say it's not going to work, because I do know some people where it does work. But I also know a lot of people where you will be cheated on, and it probably won't be because of the dark spirits. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not a wizard, so maybe I just don't understand. Maybe I'm just part of society and I just don't get it. Anyways, so Ian looks at her and he's like, yeah, you are right. And the emo girl for a second is like, what? Because for a second she thinks that like, oh, wait, he agrees with me? And Ian's like, yeah, you are right. I have no idea what you just said or what any of that means. But you know what I do know? That I'm going to go down right now and talk to Ben. And she starts pleading. She's like, no, don't do that. He's all I have. And Ian was like, well, if he's all you have, then you probably shouldn't have cheated on him. Like, I really don't think that's such a crazy thing for me to say. I really don't think that is like, I just don't think that that's like the most absurd thing I've ever said in my life. I mean, I've said some pretty crazy stuff, but I just don't think that's up there. I really just don't. Like, I'm a normal guy. I'm not spewing stuff all the time, but damn, like, that's not that bad. And she's just kind of looking at him. She's like, please, Ben, like, you don't understand. And Ben's like, nah, dude, I'm going down right now. And that's when she changes her tone and she's like, you don't understand the powers I have. Ben kind of looks at her. It's like, what? And she's like, you don't understand. I am in contact with the dark spirits. And if I want to put a hex on you, I can put a hex on you. I've collected some of your hair. Therefore, I can put a spell on you that you won't be able to break. Your life will be miserable. Do you want that? Ian's like, dude, I'm going down in the next 5 seconds to go talk to Ben. If you have anything that you want me to say to him, then tell me now, but you got 5 seconds. She's like, her last, like, literally her Hail Mary is like, I'll make out with you. She literally says, remember what this progression has been. Remember what this progression has been. Caught making out with some guy. Says it wasn't me. Says the dark spirits made her. Starts crying, being like, please, no. Then says, I will put a spell on you. The final thing she says is like, if you don't tell him, I'll make out with you. And at this point, Ian's like, hell no. And he gets up. He walks down those stairs. He's like he's a heat-seeking missile. And the only heat he's looking for is his friend. He finds him immediately, goes up to Ben. He's like, dude, I just caught your girlfriend cheating with some other guy. And at this point, Ben's like, are you serious, dude? Because Ben kind of, like, Ben doesn't even go, I don't believe you. At this point, I think he had some suspicions. And he's like, oh my God, what? Like, did she say anything? And Ian's like, yeah, she said that it was because the dark spirits made her. And then she also offered to make out with me if I didn't tell you. And at this point, right, Ben's like, oh my, like, are you serious? And Ian's like, I think she's still upstairs. So Ian and Ben walk to the stairs. And sure enough, you know who they meet at the bottom of the stairs? Yeah, his girlfriend. Yeah, so at this point, the emo girl is just looking at both Ian and Ben and Ian are just looking at the emo girl, and they're just kind of all looking at each other. And the emo girl says, if you don't leave a like on the video right now, she'll put a hex on you. But she also says, don't take the risk, guys. Just leave a like on the video. It's not that hard. And also comment emo if you made it this far into the video. I forgot to do that earlier. But anyways, she kind of looks at him, and she's like, she looks at Ben. She's like, Ben, baby, the dark spirits made me do it. And Ben's like, dude, what the hell are you saying? And she's like, baby, you don't understand. I was doing a curse last night, and the spirits told me to complete the curse. I needed to make out with it. And Ben says, no, I'm not hearing this. I'm sorry, we're done. This is probably long overdue, but we're done. And she's like, no, if you break up with me, I'm going to put a spell on you. And he's like, okay, do it. And she says, you don't want that. You don't want a curse on you. He's like, well, actually, like, I don't care. She said, no, you don't want a curse on you. You don't want that. You're not ready for that. And Ian's just watching this, and he is so excited because not only is Ben about to break up with his ex-girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, but they're going out in a big fireball. They will never come back together again, right? And kind of all of Ian's feelings for the last couple months are being validated right now. So Ian's having a great time. Kind of at the expense of his friend, but whatever, right? Anyways, yeah, Ben is like, no, like, I don't care. Put a spell on me. We are not getting back together. And she says, fine. Then prepare for the worst next couple weeks of your life. Yeah, so skip ahead a little bit. You know, Ian and Ben, they stay at the party, actually. The emo girl leaves. They've broken up at this point. And for the next week, Ian and Ben actually have a pretty great week. They do really well on tests. They have a good time. They don't get food poisoning or anything. And every single day, they say, oh, curse? Question mark? Curse? No curse? Aw, man, that's crazy. It's almost as if it isn't real. Wow. Yeah, so they actually never really see the emo girl that much again. I think they passed in the hallway a few times, and that was awkward. But yeah, Ben and the emo girl never get back together. Ian is, doesn't really rub it in because, like, look, everyone has that time. Everyone has that moment. Ian knows that probably in the future he's going to do something completely stupid like this, and he doesn't totally want to be super made fun of it for it. So he's being pretty chill about it, and he's so if you want to, the moral of the story is, I don't know, just don't do whatever the girl did in this one, because don't do that. Also, leave a like on the video, or this girl will put a curse on you. It actually works, guys, so just leave a like on the video. If you want to support the channel, literally the best thing you can do right now, if you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is let another one of my videos play. Click on one of them on the end screen, or click on another one of my videos. All you got to do. Thank you so much. Peace.